Hello students, this is your Bhushan sir. The next part of toxicology that we shall understand is concepts of biomagnification and biotransformation. Each of this concept is important for 5 or 3 marks of short notes. The first part that we shall understand is biomagnification. Biomagnification is also called biological magnification or bioamplification. It is a process in which compounds such as pollutants or pesticides or PBTs increase in concentrations at each trophic levels of food chain of organisms. Trophic level 1 of food chain has generally lesser concentration of these compounds compared to the higher trophic levels. When we look around, the compounds tend to degrade by the natural decomposers present in the environment. However, there are few man-made pollutants or pesticides or chemicals which are called xenobiotic compounds. Xeno refers to new, biotic means the man-made, the human-made. So these are new compounds which are added to the environment. And there are few xenobiotic compounds which are non-degradable in the nature. These compounds which are non-degradable in the nature are collectively called as persistent bioaccumulative toxic substances. In short, they are called PBTs. These PBTs remain accumulated from lower to the higher trophic levels of a food chain and cause adverse effects. And this tendency is called biomagnification. Here is an example to explain biomagnification of DDT chemical. DDT chemical is a pesticide with 12 to 18 years of active condition. When it is sprayed on agricultural plants, which is used as an insecticide, some residues of DDT will remain in the soil, and along with the water, it washes away, run away into the nearby water resources. Now, the water resources will have, according to the picture depicted here, 0.003 ppm of DDT concentration. Let us consider this is the first trophic level of the food chain. What is the concentration of DDT? It is 0.003 ppm. And this water is fed by the zooplanktons, the microscopic animals present in this water. So the DDT enters into the zooplanktons. Now the concentration hikes up to 0.04 ppm. So what's the concentration that we find in zooplanktons? It is 0.04 ppm. In water it was 0.003 ppm. Now in zooplankton it is 0.04 ppm. Concentration is 10 times almost more. Now, when these zooplanktons are fed by small fishes in the water, the concentration of DDT in the fishes will increase to 0.5 ppm. So again 10 times almost. When these small fishes are eaten up by the large fish, the concentration of DDT in this large fish will rise up to 2 ppm. When these large fishes are eaten up by the birds, the aquatic birds, the DDT concentration now increases in these birds to 25 ppm. So, what exactly we understand from this picture of the slide? The concentration of DDT at lower level in the water is 0.003 ppm, and in first planktonic trophic level it was 0.04 ppm, and the highest trophic level of the bird it is 25 ppm of DDT. So from trophic level 1 to the last trophic level, there is an increase of the concentration of DDT. So why the DDT concentration is slowly increasing from one trophic level to the other trophic level? This DDT is a PBT. So it is a persistent bioaccumulative toxic substance which cannot be degraded that easily and has half-life period of 18 years almost. And thereby the concentration slowly gets added up, and hence it is called bioaccumulation process. So like this we have biomagnification of variety of chemicals related to PBT category. Here are certain of the causes of biomagnification. The first causative factor is the field of agriculture. The agricultural pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers and fungicides are said to be very toxic. They not only help in eradicating the pest population on one side, but they also pollute the soil as well as the water resources such as the rivers, lakes, and seas. So these substances now will enter along with their heavy metals such as mercury, arsenic, copper, lead, cadmium into the different trophic levels, and thereby affecting the health of the aquatic organisms as well as the terrestrial organisms, predominantly the human beings that consume the aquatic organisms and the vegetation. The second causative factor is organic contaminants. Manures and biosolids contain the contaminants like pharmaceutical products as well as the personal care products. These substances will have the adverse or severe impact on the health of human beings, animals, as well as the wildlife. The next causative factor is industrial activities. Industries and factories release toxic substances into the soil and water bodies like lakes, oceans, and rivers, along with the gaseous pollutants to the environment that will enter into the food chain through different trophic levels and leads to the process of biomagnification affecting the health of the organisms. The next important causative factor is mining activities that are seen in the ocean. The mining activities are carried out in the deep sea to extract the metals like zinc, aluminium, cobalt, silver, gold, and even uranium. This mining process will end up with the residue formation of selenium and sulfides deposits enormously. These selenium sulfide salts, when they mix with water, they destroy the life of the ocean as well as the coastal region. So what's happening overall? The level of toxicity is getting increased from one trophic level to the other in the food chain, leading to affect the health and life of the organisms. After we understanding the causative factors we shall understand the next concept called effects of biomagnification. So biomagnification has adverse effects both on the living organisms and on the environment also. Impact on human health, when we look at biomagnification, makes human beings prone to the diseases related to the cancer, then kidney related problems, liver failure, birth related problems, respiratory disorders, heart diseases, and even reproductive behaviors. They do affect, the second important point is, they do affect the reproduction and development in marine organisms predominantly. The toxic chemicals that gets accumulated in the sea and oceans will affect the reproduction and development processes of the organisms that lives in the water. Here to cite an example is the seabirds will have a production of the eggs with a thin covering, thin membrane. So when the bird organism sits on, the mother organism sit on the eggs for incubation, there is crushing or breaking of the eggs, affecting the process of reproduction and development. And the scientists could find that the biomagnification of PBTs is responsible for the thinning of the egg membrane or eggshell formation in case of the birds. So likewise, the toxic chemicals such as mercury, selenium also destroy the reproductive organs and the developmental process in most of the aquatic organisms, especially of the fishes. The next important point is they do distract, the biomagnification do distract the coral reefs. The leaching of gold produces the residues of cyanide molecules which are led into the seawater back. Now, this cyanide rich water will destroy the coral reefs present underneath the water. We know coral reefs are the dwelling places and feeding grounds for most of the sea organisms. So when these coral reefs are destroyed, remember the lives of these aquatic organisms will also be disturbed. The next important point is disruption in the food chain, disturbance in the food chain. The chemicals and toxins that are released into the water will disrupt the food chain of the organism that lives there. The small organisms will absorb this toxin slowly, and when these are eaten up by the larger animals, the toxins get accumulated in the higher level of organisms and cause the adverse effects in them. So that's about the importance of biomagnification. The next process that we understand is biotransformation. It is also called as bioremediation. It is a process in which the pollutants or chemicals which are non-degradable could be converted into the end products or degradable products by the help of genetically modified organisms, which includes a large group of transformed or genetically modified microbes. So the products what they form will be accepted by the nature. So this is the advantage of the process of biotransformation. We do have metabolism of drugs or toxins that we intake. It is with the help of biotransformation they will be converted into this acceptable end products in the body. Sometimes when GMOs are used, or genetically modified organisms, when are used, they form the end products which are in the form of minerals. So minerals such as carbon dioxide, ammonia and water. So these mineral compounds, if are getting formed from the pollutants or chemicals with the help of GMOs, we call that process as mineralization. So now biotransformation or bioremediation could also be called as mineralization because end products are the mineral compounds. We do have certain of chemicals such as nutrients, amino acids, toxins, xenobiotic compounds, drugs. They're all subjected for the process of transformation, biotransformation. The biotransformation process is an application which is very efficient, cost effective on agricultural ways. So we predominantly make use of this process of biotransformation on agricultural waste treatment by using genetically modified organisms. In the picture or slide, you can see a depiction of biotransformation where the agricultural waste which are renewable or substrates will be accepted by the biocatalyst in the body of microbes. Biocatalysts are enzymes here. These enzymes will accept those agricultural waste or substrates, convert them into the products which is accepted by the nature back. So the products are released out into the environment. The application part of biotransformation, when we look at, various pollutants are treated or cleaned up by using the process of biotransformation. It includes contaminant environments that will be rich with the compounds such as hydrocarbons, polychlorinated biphenyls, polyaromatic hydrocarbons, pharmaceutical residues, oil spills, radionuclides, and heavy metals. So these groups of compounds which are contaminants will be accepted by the genetically modified microorganisms and convert them into useful products. Recent years, this biotransformation, which makes use of GMOs or genetically modified microorganisms, has led to the flourishment of new branches of sciences such as genomics, metagenomics, proteomics, bioinformatics, etc. All these fields together helps in the biotransformation of the contaminants and pollutants with the help of the moduling biodegradable pathways in the genetically modified organisms. So with this we are completing the concept of biotransformation. Hope you all have understood the concept of biomagnification and biotransformation. Thank you all students.